All right, today we're diving into one of the wildest stories in business. It's got everything: a massive rise to the top, a sudden, shocking fall, and an unbelievable comeback. We're talking about Micromax.
Okay, let me ask you something. Can you think of an Indian brand that actually got bigger than Samsung? I mean, right here in India. We're talking about a company that started small and became the absolute king of the mobile phone world. But then, poof, it was gone. I mean, just as fast as it shot up, it completely vanished. You just didn't see it anymore. So what on earth happened? Well, get ready for the twist. The guy who founded that company, today, his yearly turnover is a massive 6,200 crore rupees. Yeah. So you see, this isn't just a story about failure. It's a story about one of the most incredible comebacks you'll ever hear. All right, so let's get into it. To really get how this comeback happened, we've got to go back to the beginning. Let's talk about a forgotten king of the tech world, Rahul Sharma. So picture this. It's Delhi, the year 2000. We've got Rahul Sharma, a super sharp guy who just gets tech and business. He gets together with three of his buddies, and with just 3 lakh rupees, I mean, that's not a lot to start a company. They launch what would become a giant, Micromax. So the big question is, how did this little company, starting with almost nothing, get big enough to take on a titan like Samsung? Let's break down how they clawed their way to the top. It all started in 2008. They spotted this huge gap in the market, right? All the big global brands were chasing the high-end premium customer. But Micromax, they had this genius idea. Let's make phones packed with features, but make them affordable for India's going middle class. And wow, did that idea work. It was a total game changer. By 2014, they did something nobody thought was possible. They actually beat Samsung and became the #1 mobile brand in India. I mean, just think about that for a second. From 3 lakhs to a valuation of 20,000 crore rupees. That's just mind-blowing. At their peak, they were literally on top of the world. But you know how these stories go. Just when they were at the very top, everything was about to change. The company was about to face a fall that was just as fast and dramatic as its rise. So what went wrong? Well, the entire game got flipped on its head. A bunch of new players stormed onto the scene. We're talking about Chinese brands like Xiaomi and Vivo. They came in and just flooded the market with phones that had even better specs for crazy low prices. They hit Micromax right where it hurt, attacking their main strategy. And that was the beginning of the end. And you can see it right here in the numbers. It's brutal. A company worth 20,000 crores, its value just vanished. It dropped all the way down to 1,500 crores. That's more than a 90% drop. This wasn't just a slump, it was a total collapse. Okay, so here's the most important part. What happens next? For most companies, for most people, this would be game over, the end. But for Rahul Sharma, this is actually where the real story starts. I mean, think about it. You're facing a crash of that size. Most people would just give up, right? Walk away. But Rahul Sharma, he did the complete opposite. He didn't just dig in his heels and refuse to lose. He actually saw a new opportunity in the middle of all that chaos. So instead of banging his head against the wall in the smartphone market, he did something incredibly smart. He pivoted. He looked at what was next, at the future. And in 2017, he launched something totally different, Revolt Motors. And he didn't just dip his toes in, he jumped in and made a huge splash by launching India's first ever AI-powered electric bike. This was a bold move in a completely new direction. In that pivot, that was the cornerstone of his new legacy. It's like out of the ashes of that first massive success and failure, he started building a whole new empire. And Revolt Motors was only the start. He went on to diversify like crazy, starting companies like Bhagwati Products Limited and Mefee, building up a network of 5 different factories. And his strategy here was just brilliant. Instead of focusing on his own brand for consumers, he built a manufacturing powerhouse that now makes products for some of the biggest global brands out there. And that brings us right back to that jaw-dropping number we started with. The man who nearly lost it all is now running a business empire that brings in 6,200 crore rupees a year. Just incredible. It's such a powerful story, isn't it? About bouncing back, about completely reinventing yourself. And it really makes you think. It leaves you with this one big question. What if your biggest loss, your most painful failure, is actually just the beginning of your biggest win?